Everybody, Sunday Morning Gentle. We're gonna start on our back today. So everyone in the studio is already there. If you're watching us at home, you can go there. You're just laying on your back, giving yourself a moment or two to arrive here. Letting your breath start to take over. Let it guide you, ground you to your mat. You're not trying to control it yet. We'll get there in a second. But you're noticing it, you're observing it. As the breath takes over, it brings you to full focus on your mat, your practice. It brings you to full presence on your mat, your practice. Just take a few more moments here. Let that breath kick in. Adjust the camera slightly. I can't make it a little brighter. There we go. Once you feel like you've brought that full focus to your breath, then you can add that element of control to your breath. Start to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, allowing your breaths to become longer, slower, deeper. So you inhale, you pull the breath all the way down to your belly, and as you exhale, you're pushing it all the way out. And that way we really can start to move here in a second, just with one breath, one movement. Now when we're ready to start moving here, we're just gonna do a little warm-up float first. We're gonna do it here from our back, right? You're gonna take your knees and just hug them into your chest. Right? Maybe this first time through, you give it a little rock from side to side. And then from there, take your feet, your hands at your sides, take your feet straight up to the sky. It's just like we're in that waterfall, like we do at the end of class, right? Then from your waterfall, let your legs open wide. So you're coming into this wide straddle pose. From there, you're gonna bend into your knees. So you're starting to aim your knees towards your armpits. Lift your arms up. Maybe grab your foot or your ankle or your shin. Kind of like a little happy baby here with these wide legs. Pull those knees down a little bit further. And then from there, you're gonna take your legs, bring them straight back up to the sky. And as you exhale, let both legs lower down together all the way to the mat. So now you're coming down to the mat, your legs are extended. Take your arms up overhead, point your toes like the tip of a pencil and just stretch everything out. All right, so that's our little flow. We're gonna do it twice more. Right, so we start just by taking our knees, hugging them into the chest. And then you're gonna take your feet, kick them straight up to the sky. Let your legs open up here, and then bend into your knees, bring them towards your armpits, lift your hands up, grab onto your leg or your foot, pull those knees a little bit further down. Release, send those legs back up to the sky, take your hands to your sides, lower your feet all the way down to the mat. And then from there, take your arms overhead, take that full body stretch. All right, let's do that one more time through. Take your knees, hug them into your chest. Kick your feet straight up to the sky, and then open them up wide. Bend into your knees, reach for your extended. One more time, take your arms overhead and take that nice full body stretch. Now this time, you're going to take your knees into your chest. Take your hands to the crease of your knees. And maybe you rock and roll it a couple times, bringing yourself all the way up to seated. And then once we're seated, we're going to come around into tabletop. So tabletop is that hands and knees pose. You've got your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Let's take a couple cat-cows right here. As we inhale, lift your chin up to the sky, tuck your tailbone under, let your belly drop, that's cow. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, round out your back, hollow out your armpits, that's cat. So just keep moving here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. So you can be going faster or slower than me as we do these. You can be going faster or slower than anybody else here. Just move with one breath, one movement. Eventually, we're going to meet back in neutral tabletop. Once you get to neutral tabletop, this time you're going to tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Come into that first down dog of the morning. Let your head drop between your shoulder blades, push your belly towards your upper thighs, push your heels towards the mat. Then maybe add some movement. You can walk the dog. That's where you bend one knee, press the opposite heel towards the ground, switch it out. Right, maybe you're just swaying your hips from side to side. Maybe you're just going to stay still. Just take the time, check in with your body, see what's going on. Make sure you're listening to your body as we go through the rest of our practice. All right, from here you're going to bend into your knees. Look, take your gaze right between your thumbs and walk your feet forward to your hands till you're here. And forward fold, belly touching the upper thighs, head hanging heavy and long. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Make sure there's no creases in the back of your neck. Bend your knees as much as you need to here to get your belly to your upper thighs. You don't have to be straight-legged. Now we're going to start with a couple twists here. Right? You're going to plant that left hand on the mat. Take your right hand up to the sky. Right? Push your right leg straight. Put a little bend in that left knee so you feel the stretch go through your right leg. Now what you're going to do from here, you're going to push away from the mat with your left hand and just draw yourself up to standing. So as you come up to standing, let's move a little bit further back here so I'm still on camera. Your left hand is reaching forward and your right hand is reaching back. Now take your right hand, drop it down to your right thigh, right? Or wrap it around behind your back. Your left hand is going to reach up and over your right shoulder. So you're spiraling to the right. Now from here, you're going to take both hands, cartwheel them around. You're just going to come back into forward fold. Now we're going to go the other way. So you're going to plant your right hand on the mat, take your left hand up to the sky, push your left leg straight, let your right leg bend. Yeah, you can push up whenever you're ready. You're going to push up, let that right hand reach forward, let that left hand go back so you're twisted towards the left side of the room. Now drop your left hand down, wrap behind your back, or you can just come down to your thigh, take that right hand, reach it up and over your left shoulder. Right? And then from there, you're going to cartwheel it all down, come back to your forward fold. From your forward fold, take a big reverse swan dive now. Come all the way up to standing. Just bring your palms together overhead, and we're going to take a back bend. Push your hips forward. Take your chest and your gaze up. Inhale, stand up tall. And as you exhale, bend your elbows. Let your hands come through heart center. Start to hinge at the hip. Just draw it all the way back down to forward fold like that. Once you get there, take a half lift into monkey. Just pull your shoulders even with your hips. So now your back is flat and the crown of your head is pointed forward. Let yourself fold back down, and then we're going to begin again. All right, so we plant the left hand, open up with the right hand. Push that left hand away from the mat, rise up into your open arm twist. Drop your right hand, reach your left hand over your right shoulder, and then cartwheel it all the way back down to forward fold. Plant your right hand, take your left hand up to the sky, and push away from the mat with that right hand. Come into your open arm twist. Drop your left hand, reach your right hand up and over your left shoulder, and then cartwheel it back down to forward fold. From your forward fold, big swan dive to come all the way back up to standing. Bring your palms together, take a back bend here, push your hips forward, chest and gaze up. Inhale, stand tall, bend your elbows, hinge at your hips, drop back down to forward fold. All right, so just one more time like that. Plant your left hand, open up with your right hand. Push away with your left hand, come to that open arm twist. Drop your right hand, reach your left hand up and over, and then cartwheel it back down into forward fold. Plant the right hand, open up with the left hand. Push away with the right hand, rise it up to your open arm twist. Drop your left hand, reach that right hand up and over, and then cartwheel it back down to forward fold. One more time here, we're gonna rise up, take that big swan dive with both hands this time. Bring your palms together, go into your back bend, hips push forward, chest and gaze go up. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, bring your hands through heart center, hinge at the hip. Take it back down to forward fold. Now this time from our forward fold, right? You're gonna bend your knees, send your hips back and down, peel your upper body up. So we're coming into chair, right? Reach your hands forward, settle into your chair. See if you can get your weight back in your heels, wiggle your toes, right? So you know that the weight's all back in your heels. Make sure your knees aren't covering your toes as you look down, right? Then look back up, bring your palms together, pull them to heart center, get them really engaged. You want those elbows way out to the sides. We're gonna take a twist here to the right, bring your left elbow toward your right knee. Maybe it hooks over, maybe it just hovers, thumbs stay at heart center. Now as we untwist here, here's what you're gonna do. Your palms are gonna stay pressed together. As you untwist, you straighten your legs. Take your arms up overhead, so we're just like we were in the sun salutation. Take a little back bend here. Then inhale, come up tall. Now as you exhale, you're gonna bend back into your knees, right? Come back through your chair, and then twist to the left. Untwist, rise back up. Back bend, we're gonna do it a couple more times. We're gonna drop down, twist to the right. Rise all the way back up. Back bend, come down, twist to the left. All right, so we're just gonna do it twice more. Rise up, back bend, drop down and twist. Rise up, back bend, drop down and twist. All right, so we're gonna come up, untwist, take your back bend here, and then this time as you come out of your back bend, just take a big swan dive to come back down into your forward fold. As you get here to your forward fold, keep your right foot forward, step your left foot way back behind you. We're gonna come into runner's lunge. All right, once you're in your runner's lunge, you want that right knee right over the right ankle, left leg nice and long. You're gonna dial that left heel down so your left toes point to the left. From there, we're gonna rise up into warrior one. So you're just gonna peel your upper body up, reach your hands up to the sky. Your hips are squared towards the top of your mat. You're lengthening out, reaching up as tall as you can. Now bring your chest forward, hover it over your right thigh. Sweep your hands back behind you. Your palms are going up. Thumbs are coming together, right? So your shoulder blades are pulling together. The crown of your head is pointed forward. And then as you come up here, your hands are gonna push forward. Your right leg is gonna straighten. Your hips turn towards the left side of the room. Grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand and pull back into Sky Archer. And then from Sky Archer, now you're gonna release your hands, bend back into your right knee. Let your hands cartwheel around so that your left hand lands on the inside of your right foot and your right hand goes up to the sky. Right? Turn your left toes forward. So get a little deeper as a twist, reach a little higher with those right fingertips. And then from there, you're gonna drop that right hand down. Come to runner's lunge, drop your left knee down to the mat. Flatten out your left foot. We're gonna shift back here into a half pyramid. So your right leg is gonna straighten, your right toes come up off of the mat, and you're letting your upper body drape over that right leg. You wanna feel that stretch in the right hamstring. All right, now bring it back here, bend into your right knee. All right, look up, and then from here, you're just gonna let your hands sweep up to the sky. So you're here in a crescent, kneeling crescent. Now, we did this yesterday. You're gonna reach over, grab your left wrist with your right hand, pull towards the right side of your body. So it's like a little side bend from your lunge. There we go. Now, bring it back up. You're just gonna release that grip you have on the wrist. So you've got your left hand kind of in front of the right? And then push, with that left hand, push the right hand back. Let yourself come into a back bend right here. Keep your right knee right over your right ankle. Keep pushing those hips forward, but let your upper body lean back. There we go. Right? And then from there, we're gonna come all the way forward, come all the way down into your runner's lunge. Now, tuck your left toes under here, come up off your left knee, drop your left heel so your left toes are pointed to the left. Reach with your left hand. It's gonna reach forward. You're gonna rainbow it around so it comes along your left thigh. Reach your right hand up and over. So now you're here in this reverse warrior. So come to reverse warrior. There we go. Deep, deep bend in the right knee. Reaching back with those right fingertips, creating that space. Now from here, push your right leg all the way straight. Bring your hands to heart center. Bend into your left knee and drop your left elbow towards your left knee. So you're coming into that Skandasana, towards the back of the room. Now my right toes are still pointed forward, right? My left toes are still pointed here to the left side of the room. If you want to make this really deep and let your right toe slip up and let your left heel lift up, you could look like this. Maybe you can do this with your hands still at heart center. I can't, right? But you don't have to take it this deep, right? You can keep it shallow. Now here's what you're gonna do here. You're gonna press through that left foot. Now you're gonna straighten out your left leg. Make sure your right toes are still pointed forward. Bend into your right knee again, and then just open your arms up long. So you came here, to warrior two. All right, now from your warrior two, left hand's gonna sweep forward, reach towards the right. Now you're gonna step forward with your left foot. You're gonna kick it straight in front of you, right? So it's like this. You guys can't see me, right? But maybe I brought it so it's here, or maybe you just drop your toes down. And it's like a little step forward. So here or here. All right, now from there you're gonna drop that foot down, take your hands all the way up to the sky, push your palms together, take another back bend here, hips forward, chest and gaze up. Inhale, bring it up tall, and as you exhale, swan dive it all the way down. Forward fold. All right, from forward fold, we're gonna peel up into our chair again. So bend your knees, send hips back and down, reach those hands forward, and then bring them to heart center. We're gonna do that twisting flow again, but this time, since we're on the left side, we're gonna go to the left side first, right? So take your right elbow, bring it over towards your left knee. As you untwist here, you straighten your legs, palms stay together, they go overhead, and you take your back bend. Come back up, twist to the right. Untwist and lean back. Drop down, twist to the left. Untwist and back bend. Drop down, twist right. Untwist and back bend. One more time each way. Twist to the left. Untwist and back bend. Twist to the right. Untwist and back bend. Right, this time as you come up out of your back bend, you just swan dive it down to your forward fold. Take a half lift, kind of reset here, pull your shoulders even with your hips, and then fold back down. From here, we're gonna step back into our runner's lunge on the left side. So keep your left foot forward, step your right foot way back behind you, come to your runner's lunge. Right, from your runner's lunge, you're gonna drop that right heel to the mat so your right toes are pointed to the right. As we inhale here, we rise up into our warrior one. Right, so your hips stay square towards the front of the mat. Still keep that deep bend in your left knee. Reach your arms up high. Lengthen out. Now turn your palms towards the front of the room. Hinge at the hip, hover your chest over that left thigh. Sweep your hands back behind you. Right? So now your thumbs are coming together. Crown your heads towards the front of the room. You're hovering that chest over your left thigh. And then from here, as we come up, right, you rise up, you straighten your left leg, your hands go up to the sky again. Turn your hips towards the right side of the room. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and pull back into your sky archer. You're going to release here. Bend back in to that left knee. Drop your right hand on the inside of your left foot. Take your left hand up to the sky, and then maybe lift that right heel so you can get that left hand up a little bit higher. Opening your chest towards the left side of the room. Now, drop that left hand down. Then from there, drop your right knee down to the mat. Flatten your right foot. We're going to shift into our half pyramid here. So you're pushing your right leg, left leg all the way straight, pushing your right hip back towards your right heel. Now don't sit all the way down on it, right? That kind of takes the stretch out, even if you could do that, right? Keep it a little bit of space so you drape that upper body and you feel that sensation go through your left leg. All right, now from here, bend back into that left knee, bring it back over your left ankle, look up, and then we're gonna come up into our kneeling crescent here. Just peeling that upper body up, reaching your hands up overhead. Grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand, pull to the left. And as you come back up, now you're gonna release your wrist, but you still get your right hand in front of the left. Right, lean back here, let that right hand push the left hand back as your chest and gaze go up to the ceiling. Now we're gonna bring it all the way forward here. Let your hands land on either side of your left foot. Tuck your right toes under, come up off your right knee. You're gonna drop that right heel again. Lead with your right hand. Cartwheel yourself all the way up into reverse warrior. So right hand goes along the right thigh, left hand's reaching up and over. Deep, deep bend in that left knee. Reaching back with those left fingertips. Now from here, push your left leg straight. Draw your hands to heart center. Keep your left toes pointed forward, your right toes pointed towards the right. Bend into your right knee. Bring your right elbow towards your right knee. So it might just look like this. Right, maybe you want to make it really deep and you come all the way down. Go for it if that's what you want. And then from there, you're going to push through that right foot. Straighten that right leg all the way out, bend back into your left knee, and just sweep your arms open. So you're back here in your warrior two. And I'm gonna turn here so you can see what I'm doing this time when we come forward. All right, so I'm here in warrior two on the left side. I'm gonna draw my right hand forward, right? So my palms are both reaching towards the front of the room. And then I'm pushing off my right foot, I'm gonna straighten my left foot. You can kick that right foot up in front of you, or you can drop those right toes to the ground, and it just looks like this. Right, take a breath here. And then you're just gonna step that right foot back next to the left. Take your hands up to the sky. One more time, we're gonna back bend here. Push your palms together. Lean back. Inhale, come up tall. And then exhale, swan dive it all the way back down into your forward fold. Now, from your forward fold here, toggle your feet out wide to the edges of the mat. Turn your heels in and your toes out. And then bend into your knees and drop your hips. We're coming down into that Malasana squat. Right, I'm using a block here, makes it a little better. If you don't have a block or the squat doesn't feel great to you with or without a block, right, without a block it would just look like this. Right, so that's my regular squat. My squat with the block where I'm just letting my hips rest on the block. Or if none of that feels good to you, you're gonna come all the way down to your glutes, bring the soles of your feet together and come to bound ankle. Right, so find your spot here, whatever feels good to you. Take a moment, just close your eyes and reconnect with your breath here. Right. Notice if you still have full focus on your breath. Notice if you still have full control of your breath. If you lost either of those things while we were flowing, this is your chance to get it back. Right? Slow your breaths again, lengthen your breaths again. Deepen your breaths again. We'll take 4 more breaths here. All right, now from here, we're all gonna drop down to our glutes. All right, so you're here in this hook line position. Now, we're gonna come up into boat, right? It can be your version of boat. You just lift your feet, reach your hands forward, maybe you got a ground behind your knees, maybe let your toes come to the floor, maybe you got your legs all the way straight, maybe you're grabbing, right? Find what feels good to you. I just want you to hold there for 4 breaths. Now, wherever you are in your boat, I want you to change something about it, right? You can make it harder, or you can make it easier, right? Maybe you had your feet up and now you drop those toes to the ground. Maybe you were holding your feet or holding your legs, but now you grab around those knees, right? Maybe make it harder. Maybe your toes were on the ground and now you lift them up. Maybe now you kick them up to the sky, right? Find some way to make this boat different than it was and hold for 4 more breaths here. Now you don't have to do what I'm doing. Do what your body's telling you to do. What would you do if you had another 3 breaths to hold this pose? Now, you're going to come down from your boat, right? Everybody's going to let their feet come to the ground. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall out to the sides. And just walk it forward here. Walk your hands past your feet. Take a little forward fold. Should feel good. And then when you're ready, come back up here. Now we're going to bring our knees around and we're going to come into tabletop. From your tabletop, there we go, it's on your camera. You're gonna drop down to your forearms, right? So I want your elbows to be beneath your shoulders. Your palms are pointed forward, your fingertips are going towards the top of the mat, right? So you're not bringing your hands together. I want them separated, you're here, right? Now, I'm gonna do my left knee here. We'll do the left knee first, right? Lift your left knee up, and then just bring that left knee forward towards your left tricep, right? Hold here just for 3 breaths. And then take that left knee back. All right, now you're gonna do the same thing on the right. So lift that right knee up, bring it forward, touch it to your left tricep, or to your right tricep, sorry. Right now, send that right knee back. So you're still in tabletop, still in your forearms. Now see if you can take it to a full forearm plank, right? So you're gonna extend your legs, drop your hips. Right, so my shoulders still over my elbows. My hips are just below my shoulders. Now, if you can do this from your knees, right, you just drop your knees down, but you want to keep that long line, right? You're not here, you're not still on tabletop. And so here or here. I'm going to turn slightly so you guys can see my whole body a little bit better. Now from here, just lift your left foot up, right? And just hold it up. You can be on your right knee, it's fine, right? Maybe you take that left foot and rest it on top of your right heel. Hold it for 2 more breaths. Now, put that left foot down. Now lift your right foot up, right? Same thing, maybe it just holds up, maybe it rests on your heel, maybe you're down on your left knee while you do this, right? Let's take 3 more breaths. Set that right foot down. Everybody's going to drop to their knees. And you're going to push yourself back into child's pose. Let your hips come over your heels. Let your arms be out long. Take your head to the mat. And then, if it feels okay, probably should after what we just did, you take your hands super back behind you so that your hands are reaching towards your heels. Right? If you can't get your head all the way to the mat, something I struggle with sometimes, take a block, put it there so your head can rest. So in this passive child's pose. Just hold here for 4 more breaths. All right, now we're going to bring it all the way to our belly. All right, so you're going to lay down on your belly. And again, I'm going to try to do a little diagonal maneuver here so you guys can see what I'm doing. I've got my hands in cactus arms. That means that my elbows are coming straight out of my shoulders and my fingertips are pointed forward. I've got my head down on the mat. Now, you're going to take your right knee. You're going to bend into it, right? You're just sliding it to the edge of your mat. What you want to do is just slide that right knee up towards your right elbow. And so the closer you can get it, the better. That knee doesn't come off the ground, right? It just slides along the ground. You can take your head down so you're looking towards your right hand. Maybe you want to make it a little bit more and you're looking towards your left hand. So this is half frog. Just stay here for a minute. Now, slide that right knee all the way back, right? And now we're going to switch and we're going to do the other side, right? So you can take your head the other way, bend that left knee, and just slide it up as much as you can towards your left shoulder. Sorry, left elbow. Stay in the pose. We're going to stay here for a minute as well. Slide that right knee or left knee all the way back down. Okay. Now you bring your hands to your chest, push yourself back up into tabletop. All right. Now I'm going to do this towards the front of the room, right? And I'm not going to use a blanket because I have my mat here and my knees are good. You might want a blanket underneath your knees, right? And you might want to turn sideways on your mat. See how my mat is long? And so I'm going to bring myself into tabletop and I'm going to bring my knees way apart and my knees are both still on my mat, right? You can do that. If you need a blanket underneath your knees, you can do that. If you have a bad knee and you want to go back into half frog here on the other knee, that might be the move. Right? So You're gonna take your legs. Now what you wanna do here is you want your ankles to stay even with your knees. So I'm turning my toes out, right? You can kind of see that my toes are turned out. And my ankles are the same place as my knees. I'm gonna keep my hips above my knees, but I'm gonna walk my upper body forward, right? So I'm walking it out until I can get down, maybe to my elbows, maybe to my head. So your knees are wide, ankles stay even with the knees. You're draping your upper body forwards. This is a full frog. Now there are tweaks you can make, right? You can stay up higher if you need to, right? Or if it absolutely feels like it's too much on your knees, right? Bring your toes in towards each other. Hopefully you're gonna see my toes come in together and touch each other here. You're still keeping your knees wide, but instead of turning your toes out, you bring them all the way in. Sometimes that feels a little better. Just gonna stay here for another 30 seconds. Slowly we're going to come out of this, right? So you're going to make your way back up to your palms first. And then slowly start to bring your knees back together, right? So as we get back here with our back into tabletop, you're going to let your hips go to one side or the other. Swing your legs around in front of you. So now you're going to come so that your feet are at the edges of your mat. Your pinky toes are lined up with the edges of your mat. So your feet are kind of wide. Let your hands come back behind you, right? They can be pointed out to the sides or pointed behind you or pointed towards you. It doesn't matter. We're just going to windshield wiper here. Means we drop both knees to the one side, pull them back to center, and drop them to the other side. So we just go back and forth, back and forth. Now, come to a stop here, right? Put your toes at the very top of your mat. I'm just turning sideways so you guys can be able to see me, right? Your toes at the very top of your mat. Reach your arms out long. Tuck your chin to your chest. Round it all the way down until you're laying on your mat. Once you're laying down here, then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together again. And let your knees fall out to the side. So you're in a reclining down ankle. Should feel like you could counter to that frog that we just did. You can have your hands on your belly like I do right now. You can take them to your inner thighs and push those legs a little bit more open, right? Get a little more sensation going in the legs. So you can take them up overhead. Reach your fingertips towards the back of the room. Open up that upper body a little bit. Right? You can rest your hands at your sides. You can bring them to a T, right? It's your choice, whatever feels good. If you want to feel more in your legs, you can keep moving those heels closer to your body. If you want to back it off a little bit, push your heels further away. From here, you're slowly going to bring your knees back together. Get your feet flat on the ground. Sweep your hands to your sides, palm face down. Start to walk your heels a little bit closer to your glutes. We're going to go through our inversions here. You're just going to press through all four corners of both feet. Let your hips lift up to the sky. All right, so we're here in this nice gentle bridge. If you have a block, you can slide it underneath your hips. There, it's in my head, because I can't grab it, right? You can slide it underneath your hips, make this a supported bridge, right? If that's what you're needing today, go for it. Be here. Okay? If you're unsupported, you're gonna engage your quads, engage your glutes, use that strength in your legs to push your hips a little higher, to increase the flexibility of your back. Right? Whether you're supported or unsupported, you're tucking your shoulders, at least slightly, so your chest puffs open. If you're unsupported and you want to make it deeper, you can work one entire shoulder and the other underneath your body. So you can push those hips even higher. Right? But you don't have to. You can be in supported bridge this whole time. Make it more in supported bridge by moving the block higher. So I just took the block an extra level higher. Pushing my hips a little bit higher. Again, increasing the flexibility of the back. Take 3 more breaths here. Then, if you're in an unsupported bridge, right, you're going to let your hips just float down to the mat. Right? If you're in supported bridge and you want to keep that block there for waterfall, then you can. Otherwise, if you want your hips down on the ground for waterfall, take that block out, let your hips come down. Right? When we come into waterfall, we did it earlier today, but we didn't stay, right? You just kick your feet straight up. Flex your feet like you're going to step on the ceiling. Head, hips, shoulders all stay on the ground. This is a great inversion in and of itself. You send the blood from the feet where it pools all day back to the head and the heart where you need it more. Now, if I want to make this more, right? I can take the block underneath my hips. That elevates my hips slightly, right? Makes this just a little bit more intense. So if you want to come there, you can. Right? Maybe you want full shoulder stand. In shoulder stand, lift your hips up on your own. Put your hands in the small of your back so that you're supporting yourself on your shoulders and your forearms. Right? If you're coming to shoulder stand, your feet become kind of half flexed, half pointed. Right? If you're in shoulder stand, if you're in waterfall or supported waterfall, then your feet are fully flexed, like they're going to step on the ceiling. So you choose your version here. We're getting all the great benefits, that increased circulation I talked about, or NASH with lowering our blood pressure, flooding the body with all sorts of anti-aging, anti-stress hormones. Right? We're resetting our circadian rhythm, our sleep cycle, reminding our bodies when we need to sleep and when we need to be nice and awake. All good things happen when we get a little bit upside down. That's why I try to do it at least once or twice each class. All right, when we're ready to come out of this, we're all going to come out of it the same way. You're going to bend your knees, let them scrape right along your face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. Right? Now, as my feet get back down to the mat here, we're going to come to Happy Baby. So again, we kind of did a version of this earlier, but there's many different versions, right? So here you get to choose. So you're going to take your feet up again, like in waterfall, but this time you're separating your feet at least slightly, right? And then you're going to bend your knees. Maybe it's a slight bend, maybe it's a big bend like we did before. Maybe you're keeping your legs completely straight if that's what feels good to you in Happy Baby. Wherever you are, you're going to reach up for your same foot with your same hand. If you don't grab your foot, grab your ankle or your shin or your knee, wherever you make that connection, it's good. Right? Once you've made it though, you're going to roll forward slightly so you feel the sacrum, the low part of the back, press into the mat. Once that sacrum is pressing into the mat, then you can rock from side to side, just giving yourself a little spinal massage. It should feel good. If the rock doesn't feel good, if that's what's making this pose not feel good today, then don't do it. Right? You can skip it. Find somewhere to be, but this just feels really delicious to you. Hang out here for 4 more breaths. From here, take your knees, hug them all the way to your chest. And let's take our final twist. Here, let your arms go out long, like wings in that T position. Okay, so your fingertips reaching straight out of your shoulder blade. We're first going to drop the knees over to the right. Take your chin and your gaze to the left. Now, if you want to make this deeper here, you can take your right hand, press down on your knees, push them closer to the earth. Okay? Or if you have enough space, you extend your legs so they go towards your right fingertips. Or you just stay where you are. Is it totally up to you? Find where this feels really great to you. Let yourself hang out here. Whatever you're doing, you gotta keep that left shoulder anchored. That's what's giving you the twist. Now as you inhale next here, pull your knees back to center. And then as you exhale, now you're letting your knees fall over to the left, and your chin and gaze are going to the right. So same thing here. Okay. Take your left hand, press those knees closer to the earth. You have the space, extend your legs towards your left fingertips, or just stay where you are. Keep that right shoulder anchored. We always finish off with this twist. It seals up our practice. So our bodies remember everything we did today. Next time we come practice yoga, it's all a little bit easier. We're able to go everywhere a little bit deeper. All right, as you inhale next, pull your knees back to center. Give them one final hug into your chest. And then we're going to start to set up for our final pose, our Shavasana. As your legs extend long, your hands come to your sides. This is your traditional Shavasana, flat on your back. If it's not comfortable to you, don't stay here. You can bend your knees. Right? Let them fall in against each other. That takes pressure off your low back. You can go back to that butterfly position if that felt good. Or you need to roll to your side or roll to your belly or come to seated. Just find somewhere to be where you're perfectly comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay perfectly still. And most importantly, where your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. For those of you in the studio, I'm going to come around. A little spray for your towel for the sea salt. Have a towel, right? Like some of us in the studio don't. You just close your eyes. You put something else over your eyes, right? Maybe you have a shirt, Kleenex, whatever. Right? The important thing is to close your eyes. Let yourself get to that place where your breath is starting to guide you. To get there, you've got to release control of your breath, obviously, right? We're not controlling it anymore. Let the breath be the guide. But as you release control, you need to keep your complete focus on your breath. Keep noticing your breath, keep observing your breath. Keep your breath at the forefront of your mind. Right? Keep letting it take over. Then it can guide you right to that place. There's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. That's your true quiet of the mind. Slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling that increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, you can take your arms overhead, do a nice full, deep body stretch. And then from there, just roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there, just to reacclimate to our space. Let the sights, the sounds of the room come back to you. Take as long as you need right there. When you're ready, only when you're ready, push yourself up to seated, and we will close here. All right, so we'll close just with 2 Bhamari breaths and then an Om. You can join me in these breaths or you can just listen, but let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. And then we'll inhale one final time and Om. Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy practice with me this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right. So tomorrow morning, Angie will be here with Little Yin, so you can join her, and Heidi will still be here tomorrow night with Gentle if you need more Gentle. Then Kelly will be here Tuesday morning for some cardio and tone, and I'll be here Wednesday morning for slow flow, and then after that, we're taking a little break. We're off Thursday, Friday, and Saturday next week for Thanksgiving, but I'll be here next Sunday, just like today, for Gentle. So come join us again. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. See you soon. Bye.